Myself and my friend Nick here are going to explain to you how to play. It says shuffle cards and deal an equal amount to each player. You can deal as many cards or as little cards as you want as long as it is an equal amount. So, I'm going to start off by we'll just do 6 cards because I normally don't like to play with more than 6 per person. Each player draws 3 cards from their deck before choosing one to lay. At the beginning of your turn, you draw a card. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. However, it is the initiating player that begins play, so at the beginning of my turn, since I initiated the game here, I'm going to draw a 4th card. The first player plays a card, naming and describing it. The picture on the card must be referenced and only played as one thing. So I'm going to go ahead and choose a card here. I'm going to go ahead and lay this card right here. It's a giant worm, and there's a picture of a small man on the bottom. And since I just have to reference the card, I'm going to go ahead and say that it's a worm tamer. And so he controls worms because he's a worm tamer. So I named it and described it. And let's see what else it says on here. It says turn order goes clockwise. The next player will play a card and attempt to defeat and gain control of or disable the card or cards in play by naming their card and describing how the opposing card was conquered. So they're going to tell a story. So Nick here is going to go ahead and draw a card at the beginning of his turn. Now he's going to choose a card to lay to either disable, gain control of, or destroy my card, which is the worm tamer. Go ahead, Nick.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and play down this card.
Looks like a horde of zombies.
It is a zombie horde. Zombies aren't really affected by worms, and there's a whole lot of them. So they're just basically going to overrun the earth and in the process take out the worm tamer.
Okay. And then directions say here, the defensive player has the ability to defend themselves once per turn, as does the attacker. Now the turn it's his turn, and he attacked me. I can defend myself right now by saying that isn't what happened and changing the story. Which in that case, he would then have an opportunity to also defend what I said once, and it would not continue after that. I will continue reading here. When defeated, the player will remove their defeated card and surrender. So I'm going to go ahead and say his horde of zombies, it's a horde. I'm guessing it took out my worm tamer, so I'm going to go ahead and remove it from the game. So I removed my defeated card and surrender. The rounds continue until a player has either played something no other player can overcome, which means it goes all the way around and back to the player, which in a 2-person game pretty much means me. And his card is still in control of itself. It hasn't been disabled, destroyed, or under someone else's control. So no other player can overcome or defeated the previous opponent and no cards are left to play. If either happens, the game is over and whoever played the remaining card in play is the victor of the ultimate showdown. Now the last hand, if we get down to 1 and 1, we both lay cards out here, which it'll explain in a moment a little more detail, you can have a stalemate. For the guidelines of play, the same or similar thing cannot be played twice. It's not a huge deal, but you can't play Superman and then the other person plays Superman. Just saying. Players can add 1 non-explicit trait per card. For example, if I somehow laid a toad down here, it's kind of given that the toad can swim and is small, things like that, but if I said he could teleport, that would definitely be a non-explicit trait. So if this horde of zombies was made out of metal, that would also be a non-explicit trait. However, he didn't add that, which helps me out a lot. If there is a debate as to if a card should beat another, defer to the spectator's judgment first, so they vote on it, or vote of players in game second, which, considering we're the only ones that would have cards in play, if I had defended myself and he had defended himself after his initial attack, since we have cards out here, we can't vote. It would go to the other players who do not have cards out there. But if they can't decide, then we would go to rock, paper, scissors. All rulings are final, and the game moves on. One exception to the rule is the last battle can be declared a stalemate if there is no clear victor. Have fun. So we're going to go ahead and play a quick